Hi guys, it's Kelly here and I am back with another video for Honeybee Stamps. Today we are using the Bundle of Joy Honey Cuts, the Inside Welcome Baby Sentiments, and then the Rainbow Dreams and Rainbow Accents, and Rainbow Birthday, because look at this plaid, how adorable is this? So I picked out some colored cardstock that matched my plaid because I'm going to be doing a little rainbow on my baby card. I had a baby shower that I needed a card for, and I don't know that are baby cards that popular. I don't even know, but I feel like I make cards for a living, and like my family and friends see that I make cards, and I should probably make them a card when they have a special occasion in their life. So here I'm just basically getting all my dies together. The only stamp on this card is the sentiment. Isn't that crazy? It's totally crazy. Don't worry, I still worked in some coloring because, you know, we all got to do what we got to do. So in the rainbow, there's like a main one and then a smaller one. And so I'll be alternating the card stock. So like the light pink is going to be my first color, and then I will go through each individual color. You could make multiple rainbows like this, like super fast, super easy, as long as you were willing to kind of like mix up the color. I wasn't. I wouldn't. Well, it's, you know what? I guess I did, because it's not even a traditional rainbow. It's like pastel-y. But anyway, so these are all of the colors, and I used a mix of cardstock that I had. A lot of it is Concord and Ninth. And then I think there's some maybe Basil, maybe some Simon Says stamp that I just had left over in my stock, some Hero Arts. So just like a good variety. So once I have all of my little rainbow pieces laid out here, I'm just getting the general idea of how I want to build my card. The shower that I had to go to today, we actually, you know what, it was a mess, honestly, because all four of us were supposed to go. Me, my sister, both my sisters, and my mom. And what happened is, I went. That's what happened. So, I will try to make a good mix of story time and the card making, but because this is all die cutting, this is a short video, guys. This is short for me, 16 minutes. But anywho, so I wanted to cut out these little hearts as accents. I just used the leftovers of the cardstock that I had cut my rainbow out of. Those are the little buttons. Aren't they so cute? I'm going to use them on that little sleeper onesie. But anywho, so I'm going to use my Bitty Buzz cutter. And I don't usually show my die cutting on screen because my big one is a platinum, a Spellbinders Platinum, and it's too big for my setup to show on screen most of the time. But this one is not, and I kind of like being able to include it in the video because it's not something that you get to see all the time. So this is like a little compact cutter. It comes with 3 plates, but you only need 2 to do the cutting. And it's so easy. It's like so easy. It's got little like feet on it when you put the doors down so that it doesn't, move around a ton. And so for smaller pieces, it's really kind of handy to just have, I just have it sitting on the floor of my craft room next to me so that I can just kind of grab it and throw it up there for those smaller pieces. Totally love it. So anyway, I had some sticky left on my die cut there. I just hit it with my adhesive eraser. And here's the coloring. So like I said, I can't not color things. And so I wanted to give this little sleeper, isn't this adorable? I really love this plaid. Just a little bit of extra dimension. The die cuts, it's hard to see on this particular pattern, but the die cuts from the Bundle of Joy is all little baby clothes. They have this little ruffly romper that's totally adorable, but this baby, I didn't know what she was having, and so I didn't want to use the little ruffly romper. I wanted to use something that was going to be more like unisex. But that little ruffly romper, I'm telling you, is adorable. In fact, Caitlin has 2. I'm going to be honest. They're both flowers. Really cute. But anywho, so I just added shading with some gray to the impression lines that were already there, because in addition to die cutting, this does impress detail into the die cuts to make them more realistic looking, which I really like. And so, like, even if you cut this out of, like, regular, just plain cardstock and not a pattern, though I do recommend a pattern because I think it's adorable, you could definitely, be able to see that kind of detail. Of course, I'm going to add a little bit of shading to my clouds with the same gray markers. And then for the rainbows, I just took a color that was maybe a shade or two darker and then just added it to the bottom edge of each rainbow arch, just to get a little color variation, add some dimension and a little bit of interest. So anyway, so we were all supposed to go to this baby shower. We have what you've probably heard me refer to them. I call them my bowling family. My mom and dad met bowling. And so we pretty much grew up in bowling alleys. They bowled. My dad bowled Mondays. My mom bowled Wednesdays. And they both bowled together on Saturdays. So this is our Saturday night bowling family. And this is the same people that they bowled with before they were even dating. And my godmother was part of that family. This was her granddaughter's baby shower. That's whose it was. I used to babysit for them. I used to babysit for them when I was younger on Saturday nights. Once I got old enough, I would watch my godmother's daughter's kids and like hang out with them. And then after bowling, my parents would swing by and pick me up. But anyway, so all of us were supposed to go, but on Sunday, my dad started getting a cold. And so when we got together for Labor Day, on Monday, he did not come because he didn't feel good. Well, then I think it was like 2 or 3 days later, my mom, started not feeling well. And then the day after, Kim, my middle sister, started not feeling well. And then this morning was my oldest sister, Michelle. Now, I will say, like, we obviously don't all live together. We're all old and married and have our own kids and stuff. But on Labor Day, my sister, Kim, took my dad his plate of food, like, because I just lived down the street from them. And then on that same night, after we were all done getting together, my sister Michelle went over to their house for, I think, to drop off a food processor. So, like, they were both very clearly in their homes. I made my parents some vegetable beef soup and dropped it off to them, along with some cheddar garlic biscuits, which, if you've never had those, highly recommend. 10 to 11 stars. 11 stars. Make them. They're easy and delicious. And so, like, I walked up in their door. I unloaded my bag. Like, here's your soup. Here's your biscuits. I hope both of y'all feel better. Don't breathe on me. I don't want to breathe your air. And as soon as I got back in my car, used my hand sanitizer. Like, we've had enough sickness in this house. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not want your cold. So here's hoping that we don't catch it. I hope not. And those of you who are wondering, we did, my dad did take a COVID test, and it came back negative. And so, like, that's not, it just seems like it's just a summer cold. So, as I say this to you, I'm sniffling, and you're like, Kelly, you already sound sick, but, I assure you, it's just, like, I've been fine all day long, all day. And then for some reason, my allergies started acting up. I don't know why. But anyway, so now we are building up our rainbow. And I was pretty happy with the way that it came out as far as the color scheme. I think a rainbow is a cute little background for a baby card. And then obviously if you have somebody who is having, what is referred to as a rainbow baby, which is a, child that they have conceived after miscarriage, then this would be very, very fitting for their little rainbow baby. But I just thought it was a sweet a sweet little background to my baby clothes, and that is how I chose it. But so anyway, they were all sick. So my mom called me this morning and she was like, hey, so she had told me the night before Kim wasn't going. She was like, Michelle's out. She's sick. And I was like, that's fine. Like, I'll just come pick up their gifts because I had the card anyway. And I'll just drive it out there and drop it off. So originally I was going to take Caitlin with me, but my mom's like, you'll need help carrying this stuff in. There's like 2 bags and 2 boxes. So Eric was home. And so Caitlin it was like her getting to be her nap time anyway. So I just left her with her dad, went to my mom's, picked up the gifts, drove through Saturday afternoon traffic. I mean, I don't even have to tell you. And finally got there. And then when I get there, it was at a church. That's where they were having it, at their church. This place was enormous, just absolutely massive. They have a coffee shop in there and like an activity center, which is not an activity center, by the way, it's a gym, because I couldn't find where I was supposed to go when I first walked in. So when I walked in, like I could hear people talking, but I couldn't find them. Turns out this thing is 2 floors. And so I had to take an elevator. So I parked my car, like by the front of the doors, and then I had to carry the stuff up, take the elevator up, drop it off, come back down, carry the stuff up. But it was fine. Like, I mean, I ended up, I knew I wasn't going to stay because, Eric had other things he was trying to do. He was supposed to be, wife and child free for 2 hours, right? And so that didn't end up happening. For those of you who are wondering why I didn't just stay, I didn't want to be handing Caitlin off to people. And it's very challenging to take care of a baby by yourself in a kind of public setting like that. Like, I wouldn't be able to eat without not holding her, or, visit without her not being in people's faces, and I just didn't want to do that. So I just, stopped in, visited real quick, dropped off the gifts, and then gracefully made my exit, drove all back through Saturday afternoon traffic, and then made it back home. So here, what happened was this didn't have enough color for me. And I'm sure you're thinking, Kelly, it's a rainbow. How does that not have enough color? It just looked a little bit too stark. So I tried, you probably saw me try to remove that heart, and that honeybee glue means business, dude. It means business. It was stuck down there. And so I just did a little bit of ink blending around it, just to give it a little bit more color, and I was much happier with that. For the sentiment, I thought black was going to be a little bit too much of a punch in the face, so I decided to do gray. You can use any gray that you want. This is a W+9 ink. What is it? Silver lining, I think. Which, speaking of that, all of their inks are 50% off. Totally unrelated. But anyway, you can use any gray ink that you have. I wouldn't recommend stamping in like a distress ink. I would get a good dye-based ink, and then I'm going to use the matching dye to go ahead and trim this out. I think the gray was a good choice. It was very complementary to the kind of the color palette that I had going on here. I trimmed this down again so I could use my little guy here. Big fan of the little guy. And once that was done, I am going to pop this up on foam just like I did the clouds, just to give it a little bit of extra dimension. But yeah, so my Saturday totally did not turn out the way that I thought that it would. Once I got back home, Eric went on to do his things. Our grass basically looked like a jungle. And while the stuff like that does not bother me, it does bother him. And I totally understand that. Because it had been raining for days. It had been raining all during Sunday, Monday, like during the holiday. And then I think it rained on Tuesday as well, but by that time, like, he's back to his work week anyway, and so it does make it more challenging to have a shortened work week, and then to have to make time for those things. So he was trying to get out of work early, well, I shouldn't say early, work on time, which is early for us, on Friday, and it just didn't happen. So he was trying to get it all done today. He only got the front cut because it was so long, he kept having to stop to bag it. But anyway, so you saw me put some glitter on the hearts. I am going to put some glitter on the rainbow as well, because glitter all the things. All rainbows should be glittery. I love the glitter. I'm kidding. Your rainbow doesn't have to be glittery. Mine does. It's mandatory that mine is. And then I just went in with some Stardust stickles. These take on the color of whatever you put them on, which is why it is my favorite color. And then I just went around and just put glitter like within the edges of the rainbows, like where they met. And then that is it, my friends. That's the whole baby card. So you have to tell me if you make your baby cards or if you buy them. I'm interested to know. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.